Hey, welcome back to the Games Conversation channel. We are diving right into things. We've made it to the Impact Crater after defeating Ridley, dropping off the artifacts, all that fun stuff. We are at 100% item collection, so we're going to push on into the Impact Crater. We're told some massive Phazon evil lurks here. So we're going to see exactly what that is and what we can do about it.
Oh my word.
So remember our suit said we have
Wait,
protection against blue
phase. Yeah.
Materials highly radioactive. You'll take damage from direct contact. Mutagenic qualities are at least 80%, 86% greater than Phazon. Unshielded bioforms below index level P will suffer fatality within moments. All right.
Can we jump on the blue parts? Like, it looks like there's a little bit of blue. Oh, what are these? A new creature.
Lumigek? Phazon charged reptiles. Natives of Talon 4, the Lumigeks travel in swarms to increase their odds of survival. They absorb and radiate Phazon energy, making these swarms a threat. Oh gosh, they're coming this way. They're flocking this way. Okay.
Jurassic Park.
You got it. There's so
Whoa,
many
there's
of
more.
them. Am I just jumping across here? Is that what we feel?
I mean, I'm telling you, there's blue spots.
There's so many Lumigeks. I gotta get out.
Yeah, jump across.
The
Thanks.
Lumigeks. Lumigek is such a good Pokemon name.
Lumigek. What would they evolve to?
Good question. Oh no. Alright, so we gotta
The
climb.
Mega Gex. Is that a Metroid?
Yes.
Sounded like it.
So these things always remind me of big teeth. Like big molars that you're just crawling through.
So spatially, where are we relative to the... So, what was it we lowered into?
The Impact Crater.
The Impact Crater?
Essentially, that's like
that where we are?
What this is, yeah. So the Impact Crater... Oh. Little missile recharge. The Impact Crater is where the Chozo say that something landed. They call it the worm, or like the great evil, the great poison, this corruption. Oh, fish tank. So the Impact Crater is where whatever that is landed, the source of Phazon. And then the space pirates, I think, like noted. I'm going to do my best not to really engage with them, although I don't think it's going to be successful.
Oh, no.
Okay.
The danger meter's
I don't
going off
like
the
it.
charts.
I don't like it. Yeah, so the space pirates... I think maybe, I guess, got energy readings or something. I don't know. Alright, that's effective at least. And so that's why they tried to kind of like drill or mine or whatever into the source, because they thought if we can get into the source, then we get like all this power and whatnot. And but that's why they hit this lock, right? That the Chozo. Being a parent has prepared me well, because it's like I keep getting interrupted. That the Chozo put on to try and contain, this great evil until the day that the entrusted one could come here and vanquish. So that's where we are. It's like we've unlocked the Impact Crater that the Chozo locked. We're here to vanquish. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're entering what looks to be kind of the innards of nastiness.
That looks like a face. What?
Another
am I
absolute
looking at?
banger of a theme.
That looks like pure evil. Oh my word. Whoa. It's a really giant bad guy.
Mm-hmm. So I always wonder why it does look like a face when you first see it.
Do you do?
Yeah. Metroid Prime.
This is it?
Yeah. Metroid Prime, the highly evolved Phazon-producing life form. The aberration known as Metroid Prime is the source of Phazon, making it immensely powerful. A genetic flaw makes it susceptible to certain weapons for brief periods. Only its head is truly vulnerable. Other attacks are a nuisance. Offensively, Metroid Prime has a number of natural and mechanical weapons at its disposal. These include ultra-frigid breath, multi-missiles, snare beams, and particle wave projectors. Its massive strength and barbed carapace make it lethal in melee combat. Recommend maximum firepower when engaging this enemy.
It's a carapace.
Like its kind of outer shell.
Barbed.
Yeah.
How does it have mechanical weaponry?
I think, I feel like we read something that kind of alluded to the idea that, like, it was absorbing, like, space pirate, like, research.
Alright, it's purple now.
Alright.
So you probably have to... So this reminds me of what you were saying earlier.
Select the correct beam, yeah.
Is this like the payoff where you have to battle?
Yeah, I guess payoff's the right word. I mean, like, it's kind of like, you know, maybe they're thinking, well, you've learned this skill, you've honed this skill throughout the game, and now here's your true test. But it's like...
So it's yellow now.
Yeah. Like, was it a true test? I don't know. Because it's like, I definitely understand the concept. I don't know if I need to be tested on color, you know,
Right.
Simon Says or whatever, but...
Oh, I see blue around it. You just changed. Alright, so he is...
Oh, it bounced.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sense of what we saw initially with what we see now.
Well, he was all like kind of folded up. I get that, but I always am curious of like, because they intentionally make it look like a face.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, that's what I always see. And one of the only things that I think about really is like, because we talked about Mother Brain before,
Yeah.
and I wonder if that's meant to be sort of this like, oh, is it like a giant brain or head that I'm fighting?
Oh.
But I don't know. It's weird that they would make
To like
that.
lead you to that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in a way it's weird they'd make that callback, but I don't know what else to make of it really.
And so we got green.
Oh gosh.
Were they like? Was that like a tractor beam?
Yeah.
We're red now.
Thank you. I keep using the wrong.
So we're shooting green missiles. We've got green tractor beam vision. Now we're firing flaming orange balls at you. Oh, you can shoot them?
Yes, they give like pickups.
So we're down 2 health units. So he's releasing some blue. So that when the gas, does that indicate a change? In
Yeah, well,
vulnerability?
you see him like make the change, right? Like if you watch him, he'll kind of like. There you go. You see that like kind of color that came out
so
of
now
him.
he's yellow.
Bonk. noise when one of your shots doesn't hit, like a tennis ball. Boom.
I like that they give you the little ball tracks.
Yeah, but it's kind of like, I think it's neat when they like consider some version of like how it was made, and I always kind of like, because you can watch him like drag his little tail, and I always think like, oh, maybe he like dragged these tracks into the ground. So one reason we wanted a lot of missiles was to make these parts of the fights easier, because I want to use my like, it said use maximum firepower, like there's no need to like save it. So at this point we've descended like 3 or 4 levels, right? He keeps like knocking holes, so he's really trying to retreat into the planet.
The layers seem a little narrower. Like, is this? It feels like it's getting more and more tight. Am I imagining that?
I don't know. Yeah, it feels claustrophobic, I'll say.
Like we went from 1 track or 2 tracks to 1 track, ball free. Are those? What are those?
Just like energy balls.
I like the way that they're animated. It's kind of cool. So I've never seen a Metroid that wasn't flying. I don't think. Is that unusual? The fact that
that's a good question. There are other types of Metroids. So Metroid 2 has like the Metroid life cycle. Like it basically metamorphoses, changes.
Yeah.
Throughout the game, like you find different kind of forms.
Huh.
I've never played it, but I know that's a big kind of feature of that game.
Was that on the Game Boy?
Yeah.
And it couldn't, because then Super Metroid came out on Super Nintendo, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it was NES, Game Boy, and then Super Nintendo.
NES. Yeah, NES, Game Boy, and Super
Metroid.
Nintendo, yeah.
Metroid 2, Super Metroid, right?
That's right. Yeah, so Super Metroid, I think even the beginning of the game calls it Metroid 3. Which is why, like, Metroid Dread, when they first announced it, they called it Metroid 5. Because then Metroid Fusion is 4.
So they only named it Super Metroid because it was the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
It was really Metroid 3. Okay.
Oh, my missiles are so low. Or they're gone. They're gone.
Depleted.
Is he close to being gone?
Yeah, real close.
Boom.
I'd say 10%, less than 10%. And your health is doing great. You are a phenomenal Samus.
I really thought he was going to jet.
Whoa. Oh, there he goes. Oh. Woo! Oh my word.
Going down again? Oh.
So yeah, so that's his tail that he drags, right?
Yeah.
Or it's not even a tail, it's claw. I feel like we haven't seen the tractor beam in a while.
Boom.
So I'm trying to, in my mind, I'm trying to figure out where he came from.
What do you mean?
So, did he crash land on the planet and they buried him? Like this creature crash landed and the Chozo buried him down there? Or you said he acquired things, so was he growing down here?
Yeah, so
Was he like a seedling?
the lore said that like he would absorb, or I don't know, would absorb stuff. I don't know if the space pirates like were giving it stuff. I don't know, but in some way like it would absorb like other tech, or I don't know if they fed it creatures.
Oh,
or
this
what.
is it.
Well, oh, so that wasn't a jump. That was a fall.
That wasn't a what?
It didn't jump down, it fell.
It fell.
Alright. So it's a weekend, we must take it out.
I mean, the Metroid Prime's health meter was depleted. So I think it's... Oh, listen to that. What are we looking at right now? Like, that looks more like the Metroid I'd expect to see. So that's Metroid Prime, right?
Yes, this is the core essence of Metroid Prime. So I think this is like the Metroid Prime, and then all that other stuff that was like attached to it was kind of like the powers or whatever that it had absorbed over time.
Yeah.
So you had mentioned, not to get off on a big tangent now, but you had mentioned like these changes that were made, and in one of our episodes you even started to go into like changes to Metroid Prime.
What do you mean?
Like between these versions, like the...
Oh.
And so I think some of the changes were like, was it a Metroid that like grew due to Phazon corruption? Was it always there? Did it somehow like find Phazon? So I don't know if I have a good answer to that. It'll be curious to see if like the next games kind of answer that. Core essence of Metroid Prime. Scan indicates that the Phazon energy form of Metroid Prime is invulnerable to all conventional weapons. Only attacks from a Phazon fused arm cannon,
Which we have.
fortunately we have, will damage it. It generates pools of Phazon when it attacks. Use these to fuel your suit's Phazon weapon system. The entity can also spawn Metroids to assist it in battle, rendering itself invisible when it does so. So yeah, definitely invulnerable to...
I'm very excited about this. Whoa! So it's got its own version of ground pound.
Right.
Looks like it's got some purple
So
gases.
it generated a pool,
and we
then
used
it
that
disappeared.
to fuel our cannon.
Okay, so we found it. Yes, so we can use this pool and enter hyper mode and use the Phazon beam. But we used up all the Phazon. So essentially we're like,
That pool's empty.
yeah. So then we have to kind of wait until it creates another pool. Like right there.
Perfect.
But every time it creates a pool, it changes.
So this kind of, oh, it does. So you have to use a different visor.
Yes.
So this is like the culmination of using all your tools that you have in the tool.
Really? Yeah, you're using all your all your visors. Yeah. So
You already used all your beams.
Exactly. I'm glad you said that.
Me too.
It really, I mean, I like that kind of boss design where it's like, this is the last boss, and you're gonna use all the, well,
Neat
maybe not
stuff you
all.
learned.
Yeah, you're not like morph balling or whatever, but yeah, it is a
But
matter.
you were
of,
earlier.
Well,
That
that's
seemed
true.
like an important
It's true.
mechanism. Like they put the tracks for you to morph ball underneath it. Now look at you eating your words.
Man.
Guess who's morph ball?
Can I get out of here?
Wow, that guy, he had a strong hold on you, didn't he?
Sure did. Get out of here, Metroid. Alright, I gotta be mindful to try and pick up all these, like...
Are those going to give you energy? Because our energy's kind of... We're nearing half energy.
What's my danger meter saying these days?
Danger! Oddly doesn't register anything. You think it would be concerned, but it's not.
Alright, so I need some kind of visor. I need to know where this pool is.
Take that. So Dread kind of gives a throwback.
To this?
Well, like when you defeat one of the auntie brains or the stepmother brain,
Sure,
like the
yeah.
little brains. It gives you access to some super cannon.
Yeah,
power,
that's right. The Omega Cannon.
the Omega cannon. So that I want to say this feels reminiscent of that, but obviously this came out 20 years before.
Yeah.
So it's almost like Dread took a page from the Prime book with like giving you this ultimate weapon that you can only use during a small period of the game.
Yeah. So it's like a pretty common thing for Metroid games in general is that you get some kind of like ultimate weapon for the final boss.
Oh, okay.
But
What a creepy
like
thing.
this battle in particular, it's like extremely limited because you have to stand in these pools to actually shoot it. And I think similarly, I would say like Dread does it because it's like only in those certain rooms. So that's pretty good.
Yikes.
Those guys
that the
are
super bomb?
just- Are we close? What is it? Quarter? Oh, hello.
Yeah, no, less than a quarter. My guess would be 15%.
15%.
Yeah, did you not understand me?
Oh,
the first
400%.
time?
Yeah.
400%. 600%.
Yeah. 1,747%. It only goes to 100.
Kind of, Metroid Prime kind of gives me some like Men in Black vibes for some reason.
I mean, it's definitely very alien, right?
Yeah.
Let's just go ahead and get this over with, shall we?
Jump in.
We gotta see where.
Ooh. Alright, our health is about halfway, but his health is like at 5% right now. That didn't seem. Oh, I was looking at the wrong meter. That's the problem.
I mean, it doesn't seem like it takes that much off,
Yeah.
honestly. I mean, how many. Have we done this like 6 times?
Probably. Maybe.
So there's
8.
a little bit of an endurance factor to the fight.
Yeah.
Let's take care of these guys again.
Yeah. You know, hyper mode. Oh, we can actually see him this time. Well, he is wigging out.
And then here's the third phase.
What?
No,
This is
I'm
the
kidding.
third?
I'm kidding.
Oh my word, he's like. Did he just rob you of your Phazon suit?
Yeah.
Get out of there!
Crater collapse imminent. Evacuate.
I mean, it
immediately.
wouldn't be a Metroid game
It
if
wouldn't.
you were. And they already did it at the beginning of the game too, where you.
But
you
to
have a
be fair,
timed
you don't actually have to do
evacuation.
it.
Oh, okay. I was like, we already did this.
Yeah. Looking on at the destruction.
Oh, the helmet came off.
Yeah, it's part of our 100% ending bonus, I think.
The-
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she reveals the face reveal. So I always appreciated Metroid Prime 1 for making her look semi-natural. Because if you've seen anything recently of Zero Suit Samus, she's very like Barbie doll. like
Oh.
blonde ponytail and
Yeah.
maybe a little bit more makeup and kind of certain, I don't know, features are highlighted.
Huh.
But I always feel
Which
like,
features?
her cheeks probably. I'm gonna set the controller down so we can just soak up.
Do it. But you're saying in this game,
Like that face reveal was
Yeah.
like, oh, she's like a regular woman.
right? Like a real person.
Yeah, like she could be my neighbor. you
Yeah.
know?
But so if we hadn't hit 100%, we would not have seen her face.
I don't know if they would have shown her face, but I don't know that to be sure. But the big reason we did 100% is because there's a after credit scene. So this is where Marvel gets it from.
I always thought they probably took it from Metroid.
Yeah. They were like, what's a series that no one will really notice if we rip off? Metroid.
Metroid.
Man. So immediate reaction. Great game or no?
Great game.
Great game,
Great
right?
game. Yeah. I'm sad that the journey. I'm a little sad that the journey's over, but I'm also not too sad when I remember that there's 2 more games.
Yeah.
Where stuff will continue to unfold.
The journey's over on this kind of, I think it's a very good, it's almost like the first Matrix. Like it's a really, really good self-contained story on its own. But it is part of something bigger.
Yeah.
Whether you like the other Matrix movies or not. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it's cool. It can be enjoyed on its own as like its own package. But it is neat to look forward and say like, there's this whole other. We got
More
2
to
games
come.
already out and one that we're looking forward to on the way.
More to come.
More to come. What would you say is like, what's like the aspect of the game that you think is like its biggest strength? What would you say? Like characters, music, setting, story, gameplay. I don't know. I'm just throwing those out.
Well, I think it's impressive that they really paved their own way, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like a really unique genre where they resisted the temptation to just go first-person shooter.
Yeah, it's really only some of the bosses require a lot of shooting.
Yeah.
But
They
even
maintained the integrity or the essence of Metroid, which is like exploration.
yeah. And that's
As I
what-
described before, like the slow burn
the slow burn, yeah.
of solving little puzzles of discovery. And so I feel like they've really kept that DNA intact and presented it in a different way.
Yeah.
So
This
other
is-
people would not have seen
No, this is regular. This is kind of like most Metroid games end with like a fly off, complete, and then here's your percentage.
But we get something special.
Percentage complete, 100%. Took
Total
us
time.
13 hours and 17 minutes.
Woo!
Hyper mode difficulty active, if we wanted to play it harder, which I don't care for. You know, I mean, it was a good challenge. I don't know if we died ever, but I'm okay with that. You know, I don't need to die to feel validated.
Would they have told us if we had died? Or
I don't
hadn't
know.
died?
I don't know.
13 hours, 17 minutes. Okay. Now what happens when you press A?
The bubbling pool of Phazon. Presumably.
Is that the Metroid? Or
where
no?
we defeated Metroid Prime. There's a lot of activity. A hand.
An eye.
Malevolence.
What is it? What was it? That's it?
That's it.
So Metroid Prime is not dead.
No, so you saw.
Metroid Prime now has a hand
Well, you
and
saw.
an eye.
You saw like when Samus defeated Metroid Prime. the blob, the leftover blob that I said was phase 3, like reached out, right?
Yeah.
And took Samus's Phazon suit. Did you notice that?
So
like,
that's the Phazon suit.
yeah, so it took her suit and like into this thing, and now it's like
Because that was the hand.
trying to kind of inhabit the
So this
suit,
is-
or
this is-
there's some
So
fusing
this is
happening.
This is Dark Samus.
Yeah. So you could have beat this game, never seen that ending, and been like completely satisfied, probably.
Yeah.
And then if you beat the game and saw that ending, you might just be like, oh, I guess they're gonna do a sequel, maybe.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't really know. But then when 2 comes on, there's like this very direct villain in Dark Samus, and if you saw that, you would probably piece it together.
Connect the
Yeah.
two.
And then I think there's like the lore and all the stuff that eventually fill in the gaps for you. But yeah,
That's cool.
that's why we wanted to see it.
That's fun.
We did it for you. We did it for you.
For me,
We did it for
especially.
me.
What about what did you think about this being? You played through it many a times.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's still a great game. I had a blast playing through it. I think, 13 hours. I'm trying to think, like, because I know speed running is a big deal for this game, but it's mostly through kind of like glitches and skips.
Yeah.
But just playing it, like 13 hours, and you know how I play, like very like kind of just
Methodical.
slow and thoughtful. So I'm not rushing. I think it would be maybe fun one time to play through it as fast as possible, but you'd really have to kind of know your path. I think there were a handful of times where we sort of like got lost or like meandered a little bit more, and
Yeah.
I don't mind that, but with more familiarity, you can kind of like make it more efficient. But ultimately, like, I had a lot of fun every step of the way. I think each area, other than Magmore Caverns, is like interesting to visit. I think there's a lot of cool, like, I think the beams and the visors are neat, like, just because you can experiment with them all throughout the game. I think for me, the music is really good. I think it's really well done. Like, it never feels intrusive, but it gets stuck in my head. Like, I remember the themes from each area. And like I said, this is like everything good about Super Metroid. That it's kind of like pulled and distilled and like put into this 3D game.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like Prime 1 so much, is because it feels very like just Metroid-y, just put into a 3D game and done really well. So, thumbs up for me.
Yeah.
And I do really like the scanning. Like, I can understand how that would be divisive if you didn't want to like kind of examine your environment, and if you didn't want to like read a lot. I get that. But for me, like, I feel like we made the effort and probably came very close to reading literally everything.
What was
in
it?
the game
94%.
of like logbook
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. So anything there was to learn in this game, I feel like we really
did
learned and like tried to piece it together. And for me, like, that made it like a really full experience.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. So hopefully you loved this playthrough of an all-time great Metroid Prime. We put, a lot of time into it. So if you would, just leave a thumbs up. That's all I want. Let us know that you liked it. We would love that. And if you really want to, go ahead and comment on this video or on any other video for your chance to win this Nintendo Power Magazine. At this point, there's no more episodes to come. So someone, once this video gets posted, is going to be chosen from the comment section of the entire playthrough. And I'll figure out a way to get that magazine to you. And hopefully you'll become a super fan for life. So that's about all I got to say about Metroid Prime. Look forward to future installments, Prime 2 and 3. Next up, I think, is Star Fox Zero. And then maybe some other goodies. So we'll see you around.